Welcome back to the channel, guys. What a highly anticipated video. I had the most people shoot me a comment, send me a message on Instagram about what exactly, what kind of optic we're going to slap on this brand new G19 MOS. And let me tell you, I've been dying to get something mounted up on here as soon as I brought this thing home, because that's the whole reason you buy an MOS, right? Is to go ahead and put an optic on there. And me personally, I've never shot a Glock or any other handgun with an optic on it. So I am beyond pumped to go ahead and get this process started. And let me tell you, preparation for this project is absolutely key. So the biggest thing that I can tell you is plan ahead and go ahead and go with the best, because let me tell you, you don't want to spend this kind of money, $500-600 on a Glock, accessories, $130 light. You don't want to skimp on what could potentially save your life. So if you're going to mount an optic on this thing and EDC carry this firearm, you want to make sure that you go with the best. So the reason I say this is we did team up with the best on this project. So you'll notice right off the bat, the plate that we're using to mount this, which is the most crucial piece of this project, and I'll get into this a little bit later, is we went with C&H Precision Weapon System, and I am super proud to have them on the channel and be a partner in this project, because they are a local Georgia company out of Richmond Hill, Georgia. And they have such a great website. And if you guys are mounting optics on a pistol, I would be very surprised if you don't already know about Buck, his team, and the products that they offer on their website. It is absolutely insane, the amount of engineering and the science that goes behind this plate, and why you want this on your optic system, no matter what you're doing, but especially on a pistol, especially something that can save your life. You want just at every advantage possible. Why wouldn't you want the best plate possible, right? The fat wrench. Now, I've had this for a while now, probably a couple weeks, because I've anticipated this project, but this is definitely something that you're going to want to make sure that you get this torqued down to the right spec. It does a great job in those C&H videos that I'll link below, but if you want to make sure that this thing is on there and not just, if you feel it's tight enough, that's just a bunch of shit, I'm telling you right now. You want to get you a torque wrench, make sure and do this right. Comes with all you need right here, and I've got extra bits in the other kit, but trust me, you want to know your torque specs. Went ahead and topped this thing with a HOLOSUN, and I'll do just a super quick unboxing here. I've kind of cheated. I went ahead and got the instructions out. I've been playing with this. This is a 407C from HOLOSUN, and this is the second generation of the 407C. Also, this is the GR version, so if you're up to date with HOLOSUN, right off the bat, you know that this is a green dot. So instead of a red dot, we went with a green dot. Let me get this thing. It's got the shake awake technology. Let me see if I can get this to focus on the dot for you. There you go. There's that green dot shining at you. And I went with a green dot this time because I've got a bunch of micro red dots, and I really wanted something different. And I really like the science behind how some people's eyes pick up green better than others, and I've just never owned one, so I wanted something different. But we went with the 407C. You couldn't beat the price on Optics Planet. We're not sponsored by them in any way. We did purchase this red dot, and I'm really happy with it so far. We're going to get it mounted and just make sure that we love this thing. But you can see I went ahead and witness marked the battery. I highly recommend swapping batteries out of the stock HOLOSUN battery that comes. It's something from China, who knows, but I put a good Energizer, a brand new battery in this, and with this thing having a 50,000 hour plus the solar backup, you literally probably don't ever have to change batteries. But we went ahead and put a good battery in, witness marked the battery tray, so we know for a fact if that thing moves. Went ahead and put a little bit more Loctite on that too, so we triple checked that. When I watched a lot of the C&H Precision install videos, which we'll go ahead and do an unboxing right here of what they sent over, but this is probably their most popular plate, I believe, after going on their website. This is the Glock MOS that fits the RMR footprint, which is exactly why we went ahead and went with this company over others. And to top it all off, this is the kit that comes with the Glock MOS, or any MOS that you buy, but the 19 especially. These are all different adapter plates. This has its place if you're just, on a super tight budget and you don't want to spend the extra, $70, $80 to get the best plate you can get. These are okay. The reason that I did not go with these is because I don't like the thread engagement between the plate and the pistol. So if you think about all of the science and the recoil and all the forces that are going on right here, when this reciprocates, You want to have this to be just as solid as a brick shit house as possible, because you're going to, you know, potentially this be your life-saving tool here. Or if you spend a lot of money and you're at the range putting a buttload of ammo through this thing, you don't want it to fail on you. Who does? That's super aggravating. So go ahead and invest. Get you one of these C&H Precision Plates. They're stronger. They're better built. They've got this shelf on here that you'll notice also that the Glock MOS plate does not. This plate is going to fill this gap up solidly enough to where you can rack the slide off your red dot. You can have just total peace of mind in shooting this thing, knowing that it's not going to back out, it's not going to come loose, and you're going to have this thing mounted up. And like I said, it's going to be a brick shit house. You're not going to worry about it. It's going to run like a Glock like you always knew it would, but you're not going to have to rely on these cheapy plates, and you're going to get something better. So in the box, and I literally, their customer service is bar none, because these guys have went ahead and they're super active on social media and their website. So if you shoot them a question, I was in the middle of installing this or getting ready to shoot this video for you guys, and I noticed that the hardware that they sent over is already Loctited. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this on camera. Yeah, there you go. There's already blue Loctite from C&H on here. So I was like, well, I saw in your other videos that you guys recommend, you know, VC3, or I believe it's Loctite 222, or it's the purple Loctite that's not going to have this thing completely, you know, irreversible, but it's going to have it enough to where it's not going to vibrate off. So I bought VC3. I shot them a message. I said, hey, I've got VC3. What do you guys recommend? I'm going to go ahead and install this with what they've sent, because I don't believe in mixing different thread lockers. I just don't think that's going to give it the best chance to stay on there. So we're going to go ahead and install it the way that it was sent over from C&H, because I don't think they meant for me to clean this off and then install it. Which, if for some reason this comes off, I'll definitely put the VC3 on and redo it. But for right now, we're just going to roll with that. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do, and by the way, we've already taken the slide off the 19 MOS, and I'm not, you know, going to bore you with taking all that crap off. But we went ahead and found the right torque bit. You never want to loosen a screw or a, you know, piece of hardware with a torque wrench, because you run the risk of messing up the torque calibration and all that. So what you want to do is use just a regular. This is the correct star bit for the MOS. I don't know, guys, I don't know which one this is. You're just going to figure it out. It's super easy. If you've got one of these cheap Winchester, do yourself a favor. Stop the video right now. Go buy you one of these cheap Winchester gun kits right here from Walmart. I've had this since I was like 13. It's got everything that's going to get your ass out of a bind, I promise you. Mountain scopes or optics or whatever. Go ahead and pick you up one of those. Trust me, you're going to thank me later. But back to the video. So we're going to go ahead and uninstall this Glock installed. Man, that's in there pretty good. All right, Glock. I am not disappointed in how tight that was. All right, guys, we got you repositioned. What I want to do now is any like excess oil from the factory, you know, you kind of want to dab that up. You don't want to, you know, you want these holes to be as clean as possible. The fat wrench here by Wheeler, this thing's a freaking lifesaver, like I mentioned earlier. You want to get yourself one of these. We've got it set to 10 inch-pounds, recommended in all the C&H videos. So we are going to do the dry fit here and see just exactly how, and you can tell by the way this plate is, this is the way it's oriented. Right here. Man, that is freaking sick. So what we were talking about, and you can see it here, the way this plate matches up to the slide is there's not a gap there for that HOLOSUN to move around on. Wow. Man, that is freaking wicked. So this is exactly what I was talking about, guys, as I get this camera to focus for you. This is the gap that you don't have anymore because of the C&H Precision Plate. So you've got that piece that they machined out in the front, and then that also in turn orients your red dot to where it's right back up against that dovetail that is there from the factory. So there is nowhere for this red dot to go under recoil or stress or anything like that, on top of the extra thread engagement that C&H has in these custom T-posts, that they're the only ones that have this in the market for their plate installation. But you'll see the T-posts I'm talking about in a minute. But it's just, there's no way that this thing can now obviously anything can fail, but it really gives you the upper hand on mounting a red dot on a pistol that the MOS system just does not have, and that is the reason you need to spend the extra money and get this thing, I promise you. All right, guys, so now we've got this dry fitted. We're going to go ahead and put the sight off to the side. And what's so ingenious about how they designed this is, I don't know if you can see this on camera. I know these are some small parts here, guys, so bear with me. But this T-post, this is the key to how C&H gets such good thread engagement that the MOS plate does not. So you're supposed to install these T-posts up under, flip this thing over, and perfectly machine in the bottom of this thing. And the machining on this is beautiful, by the way, guys. What a hell of a job. It's perfect for these T-posts to go in. So let's get this thing focused here. There we go. You put these T-posts in like so. One second, guys. I know it's aggravating this camera. So once you get the T-post in, they're going to be perfectly recessed inside of this plate. It gives you the option to have more threads on top. So you see how these are recessed and they're coming through the plate. You get that many more thread engagements versus the stock plate. I know it's late, guys. I can't talk anymore today. And just like that, that's what you're going to end up with. So when you get that plate installed, well, not installed just yet, but when you get it set on there for a dry fit, you're going to see how much more these stick through, which is such an ingenious design. I love that they've done this. So the silver mounts the plate to the gun. Silver to the gun, and then the T-post go with the black HOLOSUN screws. We're going to get this all sorted out for you. Let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this by hand. All right, guys, so we've got both of these started. Going to go ahead and take our Torx wrench, set to 10 inch-pounds, which is practically nothing. We're going to get this stuff snugged up all the way. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to go a little bit on each side, working it back and forth. I can feel that Loctite grabbing. And man, look at the fitment of this thing. I mean, this is true. I mean, look at how tight the tolerances are. This is why you spend the money to get a plate like this. Take our torque wrench. We want to make sure these are snug down. We're going to go to 10 inch-pounds. So listen, we're going to let it click 2 times. There's 1. There's 2. One last step before you go to mounting your red dot here for the final time is you're going to want to take an oil-based paint marker. Get this to focus. I went with a Sharpie brand, which is just fine. You can use a Sharpie brand or whatever you're finding, but you want the medium oil-based black paint pen, and you're going to want to go ahead and make a circle around each screw head. The reason is just, it's kind of OCD, but it does serve a purpose of giving you that extra layer of protection for that to bond to the plate, and an extra, bite to that screw where it's not going to back out on you. Going to go around these really good. And what you end up with is something like this. So when this dries, we're going to get this about 15 minutes. Get back with you. We're going to go ahead and witness mark this. So witness marks are perfect. You want a contrasting color for this, and we went with silver. I think in most of the videos you see online they use blue, but we went ahead and went with silver. Not really a perfect science to it, but that's my witness marks there. As you can see, there's absolutely no way that these will back out and us not know it, or at least if we have to take the red dot off and investigate, we will see that these moved in some form or fashion. Again, we're just going to dry fit and make sure that this is exactly what we're looking for. We're going to get these started. Just a regular Torx bit. 10 inch-pounds. And we're going to do just even pressure here. 1, 2. And just like that, guys, I'm going to save you the boring part of literally watching paint dry, but we went ahead and you got the idea. Look at those gorgeous witness marks there in silver. There is no way you're going to not know if those screws backed out, not even 1 millimeter. All right, guys, now the fun part. We got the install out of the way. Again, just a huge shout out to C&H Precision Weapon Systems for being a part of this, being a partner in the video. A huge shout out. They made the video so easy to install, was seamless. And I will have everything linked in the description below if you want to check out one for your pistol. And no, they don't just make Glock plates. They make any kind of modular mounting system for optics on a handgun. You can find it there at C&H Precision. Just a huge shout out to them. Super easy instructions, great videos. A local Georgia company to us here in Richmond Hill. Just what a great team they've got over there. Can't say enough about those guys. It went seamlessly as mentioned, and we're going to go ahead and throw this on the G45. Again, this frame here, guys, you saw in the last video. This is the second best thing you can have to stipple. This is the handlet grips. We went over the full install, like I said, on that last video series, so go check it out if you haven't already. But this is the second best thing to stipple if you don't want to permanently alter a frame, especially if you may, do a lot of trading or selling later on. I'm probably not going to get rid of this gun. This is one of my favorites because I love that full-size grip. But I do love having the compact slide if I need it, just like in the case of this, where I can throw that G19 slide if I want to shoot a red dot. And something that you guys may know in the comments, but so say I zero this on the slide of the 19, but then I throw it on, the slide of this 45 here. I wonder if that's going to throw the zero off. Comment down below, and if you have, I don't know if you've done this or have done it with a 45 to 19 or 19 to 45. Obviously, it's the same slide, so I don't think it will. In my mind, I don't think it'll throw the zero off, but just a different frame, the tolerances and the factory and all that. It'll just be interesting to see if I zero this on the actual carry frame, which will be, the original 19 with this TLR7. If I zero it on that frame, throw it on the 45, how that's going to affect everything at the range. But again, I'm loving the green dot. I don't know if you guys can see that as well as I can. But we're going to have a full range video, a full diagnosis, a full sight-in video for you guys to show you just how easy it is to get a red dot mounted, green dot, whatever you got, on your Glock platform. Use the least amount of rounds, and also a brand new video coming for some steel targets. So guys, you don't want to miss out. Stay tuned to the series. Comment, like, subscribe. As always, I do this for you guys. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.